Yo, what's up YouTube? James Baek here. Welcome back to another episode of VGC 2019 Back-to-Back Battles, and today is the last episode. We are using Jamie Boyt's 9th place Worlds team with Salamence, Salazzle, Breloom, Rayquaza, Dustmane, Xerneas, and Tapu Koko. If you haven't checked out the previous episodes, highly recommend go checking them out down below. But otherwise, yeah, so this team is still a team I do not understand. Even with all the playing, I feel like maybe I got a bit better over the last few episodes, but otherwise it's still, I think, really complicated. I really got to give Jamie props as a player because he was able to make this work and he was able to do really well with his team. So yeah, I mean, that's incredible because I'm still trying to figure out some of the kinks of this team, but otherwise, yeah, question comment of the day is, what Pokemon is your favorite Mega Evolution? Now, Mega Evolutions was introduced in Generation, what was it, Generation 6? Yeah, Generation 6. We got a bunch of new Mega Evolutions to help Pokemon that needed some help, or maybe some Pokemon that were already pretty strong and just made them even more powerful. My favorite Mega Evolutions, I think, competitive standpoint, is probably Kangaskhan and Gengar, just because I felt like those were probably my most comfortable Mega Evolutions. I liked Mega Gengar a lot in 2015 actually, and Kangaskhan both in 2014 and 2015. I know those are probably more competitively biased answers. Design wise, I feel like there's a lot of good designs for Mega Evolutions too. Not exactly sure which one would be my favorite design wise, because I actually like a lot of them. Not exactly too sure now that I think about it, but let me know yours definitely in the comments section down below. Let me see. We got like Houndoom, Bayonet, Tyranitar, we got Diancie, we got Abomasnow. We just got a bunch of them, so I really don't know. Lucario is also pretty cool. Lucario is also really nice. Overall, Mega Ampharos definitely looks cool design-wise too. I forgot about Mega Ampharos. Its design is great, but let me know in the comments down below. And the fact is, I do want to ask this question because Mega Evolutions might not be a thing in Sword and Shield. We have no idea yet. Probably looking towards not, it looks like, but we have no idea. I guess we'll find out in the future, but otherwise, thank you for... But otherwise, yeah, it's taking a while to find our first game, so I think I'm just going to cut it here until we find our first game. So we'll be right back with the first game of today's episode. Alright, we got Hanami from the United States, 1560 rating, as our first opponent for today. What an interesting team, though. You got Rayquaza, Groudon, Venusaur, Sableye, a Tornadus, Incarnate, and Serena. So, double grass with Radon, which is interesting. And the fact is, 2 potential Mega Evolutions. Rayquaza always has that option to Mega Ball for as long as it carries the move's Dragon Scent. And then you have the Venusaur, which could be like Sash, could be a Z move, or could be a Mega Evolution. So, definitely interesting. I think Salamence is really good in this matchup, as well as the Xerneas. Tapu Koko is definitely someone to consider too, because of the fact that Sleep Powder is going to be annoying. It's definitely a possibility in this matchup. What exactly want to go here? I definitely want to lead Salamence. I think Salamence is pretty good in this matchup overall. I think I'm going to need Necrozma because of its ability to Earth Power to Groudon. I'm going to need Xerneas for sure. And then the last one, do I go Salazzle? Salazzle could be okay. Maybe I just lead Salazzle. But the fact is, I can't exactly fake out for free when the Serena's out on the field. But I do have Fling actually to get around that, so I can go Salazzle actually. Let's go Necrozma and Xerneas in the back. Like, I think Tapu Koko is alright, but I'm not sure if it's like absolutely necessary. Although it could help against the Venusaur. We don't know if my opponent's going to fully commit to bringing the Venusaur yet. And the lead I'm bringing does deal decently well against the Venusaur. The thing is, it's interesting to see Serena, Venusaur, Groudon. We saw that a bit in Sun Series and Moon Series, but the fact is, you don't keep Sun up as you used to, especially since how Desolate Land works. Serena, Rayquaza leading the field, which is an interesting combination here. I could fling the Rayquaza since I think Salazzle is guaranteed faster than Rayquaza, I want to say. I think it is. I should probably double check just to be safe. Let me see. What's your speed stat? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do outspeed Rayquaza. So we should just be able to get a Tailwind up here, guaranteed, and then just fling the Rayquaza as long as it's not like a Scarf Rayquaza for some reason. So we're going to fling here, and we're going to go for Tailwind. I think that play makes a lot of sense because if this arena does have that ability in Queenly Majesty, unless it's Sweet Veil for some reason, we should be fine here. We also break a Sash on Rayquaza, which is nice. And yeah, Delta Stream going to break out here. And let's see, it looks like it is going to be at least a max speed Rayquaza. It is faster than my Salamence before a Mega Evolution. A Salamence will Mega Evolve here. And let's see, maybe Helping Hand from Serena or U-turn? Faint. Oh, okay. Predicting a Protect, it looks like. So, or just trying to cover for a Focus Sash, as we will get a Fling here into the Rayquaza, which is really good because that is one of the big reasons why Salazzle is pretty good on this team. We are going to be able to get Tailwind off and yeah, we're going to have that speed advantage for the rest of the game. And right here, don't see a reason not to just go for a Double Edge into the Rayquaza slot, and I think an Overheat into the Serena slot. There's really just no switching, I think, from my opponent's end. There's no Intimidate, so there's not exactly going to be the best switching my opponent has. But yeah, let's see what my opponent has as an option. Overheat gonna come out. It does connect with Serena, which hopefully KOs. I would assume it would, unless it's Assault Vest. It might be Assault Vest because that did not much damage as I was expecting. So yeah, it looks like it's Assault Vest Serena, so that's interesting to note. Double Edge gonna come off into the Rayquaza slot, do a lot of damage here as Giant Scent will come out at -1. I'm guessing this is gonna knock out Salazzle. Yep, it looks like I was right. And then what, Play Rough coming out from Serena? Salazzle goes down, but I just need Salazzle as a lead here. It was definitely one of the optional Pokemon that I brought to this matchup, so it's not absolutely necessary. A Life Orb on the Rayquaza. Play Rough coming out. Salamence avoids, which is actually very fortunate here. I can go out in a Xerneas right here. And I have a few options. I can go for a Geomancy right here, which is definitely a decent play here, I think, but I could also just go for a Dazzling Gleam, I think. I don't think there's a need to set up Geomancy right off the bat. I do have an opportunity to, but because of these Pokemon being -1, but I just don't want crits or losing a resource, because if I Geomancy and I Double Edge their Rayquaza slot in case of a crit here, the Serena would Play Rough with the Fairy Aura boost could be pretty scary, so I think I'm just going to Dazzling Gleam and Double Edge here. So no switch out, so I am going to be able to get both Pokemon a knockout, it seems, and getting rid of Serena. I mean, the priority doesn't matter now, and getting rid of Rayquaza means that only Desolate Land will be active if the Groudon is in the back. So I guess if it's Venusaur, it could be scary, but I think we should still be fine regardless. I think I could get an opportunity to Geomancy this upcoming turn and just go for a Double Edge into the Venusaur slot and Geomancy here. If it is Groudon, Venusaur in the back, and Venusaur is coming out, and it's gonna be the Groudon. Yep, okay. No surprise there. So maybe it was better just to keep the Serena and risk the crit, but I feel like we're still in a fine position regardless. As long as I'm able to pick up a knockout here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just Double Edge and Geomancy here, cause I still have one more turn of Tailwind after this, if I believe. No, this is actually my last turn of Tailwind. Because if my opponent double protects to sell out the last turn of Tailwind, I get the Geomancy off. So at least I get something out of the turn. While my opponent has to go for a Sleep Powder here or a Protect. Like, my opponent has to call this right first. And I feel like if I Geomancy it, like, I'm not in the worst spot possible regardless. So we'll see what my opponent does. Smartly doesn't Protect here. Let's see if it's Focus Sash, though. You have to be Focus Sash for this play to work. It is that Focus Sash variant, so this makes the game interesting here. Keeps the game interesting, as we are going to see the Geomancy come off. It looks like it's not a timid Venusaur, so at least that is guaranteed. We will get that Geomancy off and get that boost. So let us see what the Groudon and the Venusaur can really do here. Because if it's not a Sleep Powder in the Xerneas slot, this is looking pretty bad for my opponent, I think. But we'll see. What is my opponent going to do? Sleep Powder does come out. You have to hit it. It's in the Salamence slot, though. Okay, that changes this. It definitely changes this. And what, Fire Punch? No, Precipice Blades. I guess maybe just trying to cover for switches in case I decide to go hard Dust Main. Passive Blades. That did a lot of damage. So I don't know if there's a protect or not, but I think I am going to just go for an attempted Earthquake here and just protect my Xerneas, because most likely I think the Venusaur would want to go for a protect here, not wanting to take the Dazzling Gleam. And then I think, yeah, I think that's what my opponent would do and try to knock out the Xerneas. Yep, that's what we're going to see. And even if you knock out the Salamence here, I think that's fine because I did a free switch into Necrozma. I just clicked Dazzling Gleam Earth Power, and I think that would just be able to knock out the Groudon and win the game. I think I just win the game as long as I don't get like 3 turns of protects. I mean 3 turns of sleep. So let's see. Tailwind up. Dazzling Gleam. Let's see. Venusaur goes for the double. Does fail though, so that should seal up the game too. Like my opponent needed a double and needed like 3 turns of sleep with the Salamence, I think. Venusaur goes down. I get a hefty chunk into the Groudon. Salamence still stays asleep though, and Precipice Blades once again, or Fire Punch? Okay, Fire Punch, not wanting to miss, smart. Which will be able to knock out the Xerneas, but at this point the game is over. Necrozma plus Salamence is I think too much for this Groudon to handle. Because Salamence at most can only take 1 more turn of sleep, and yeah, I think we should be good there, because we're guaranteed at least 2 hits off. I don't know. There is no move that this Groudon can learn that can hit both my Pokemon on the field. So yeah, we'll just go for an Earth Power here. We'll go for a Double Edge. I think Earth Power should be enough to just finish off the Groudon by itself, but who knows? We'll just go for it regardless. So Necrozma gonna burst here and finish off the Groudon with Earth Power. Let's see. I think it should. Yeah, Groudon goes down. So Groudon does go down and able to pick up a win. Nice. Let's see if we would have taken that 3 turns sleep. Oh, wait. We don't get to find out because we KO'd the Groudon. Oh, dang it. If we got that 3 turns sleep in the Venusaur got double protect, that actually would have been super scary. But thankfully, we are able to pick up a win. Because I'm pretty sure that my Salamence would lift Sludge Bomb from the Venusaur because of how especially defensive we are. And I think we'd be able to get a Tailwind up, which would have actually been very crucial against our opponent. That's the reason why I think that. But otherwise, yeah, we are able to pick up a win. Especially since our power was able to knock out the Groudon there, because I felt like if we at least got Tailwind off, I could protect Necrozma, then I could Z-move the Venusaur slot, break through its protect, knock it out, and then our power would be able to finish off the Groudon because I was guaranteed the Dazzling Gleam damage onto the Groudon slot. So yeah, that was my thought process, but able to pick up a win, which is really nice. And yeah, let's continue on and find another game, potentially our last game with this team. But yeah, I mean, some of these Pokemon came really handy. Salazzle was able to do some work. Breloom was able to do some work. Overall, all the members I think were able to put in some work for this team, and I'm really glad about that because I do like teams where all the members can come out and shine, especially in different matchups. So really happy that all of these members I think got to shine throughout the 7 episodes we used this team. But otherwise, yeah, let's continue on. And hopefully this last game, hopefully it's a good one, because I would love a good game with this team. But yeah, still trying to figure out some of the tricks with this team. I don't know if I were to rebuild this team from scratch, what would exactly change about it? I don't know. If I were to rebuild the team from scratch, I don't know, there would be some changes. I would probably experiment with Protect on Mence over Roar. I felt like Roar was handy in like maybe 2 games that I played with this team, but I don't think I was used otherwise, and sometimes I would have really liked that Protect option. Tapu Koko, I think the spread probably could be changed a bit. Like I remember seeing some of the calcs and they were pretty nice from Jamie's end, but I felt like maybe having some more bulk or just like speed, I don't remember exactly, but there were some situations, you know, the Tapu Koko is like slower than like opposing Salamences, which is, you know, not all Assault Vest Tapu Kokos do aim to outspeed like Salamence. I think this one just tries to outspeed Ray, or I think maybe in the Salazzle by 1 point, but I'm not exactly too sure. But yeah, it's definitely, I think, just something that's worth experimenting around. But it's going to take a while to find our second game, it looks like. So we'll be right back with the second game of today's episode. Alright, we got Sasha from the United States, 1474 rating as our last opponent. It has been taking so long to find gains, but we have a very scary team here. We got Salamence, Incineroar, Xerneas, Tapu Koko, Groudon, Stakataka. We're seeing Stakataka on this Xernon team with Tapu Koko, so there is a Trick Room option or possibility. Let us see what we can do here. I think this is very scary. Like, this matchup's definitely going to be very scary. Because we can't spore things. Is Breloom worth bringing? Probably not. I would bring Salazzle, maybe Salazzle Xerneas, but Stakataka could switch in easily on a fake out Geomancy, and then I'd be in trouble. Necrozma is definitely good here. Maybe as a lead even, because my opponent doesn't have exactly the best answers. I'm just wondering if I should lead Salamence Salazzle or... because I just don't think I bring the Tapu Koko for sure. And I don't think I bring Breloom. I don't think it's that good in this matchup. So that's why I'm considering the Salazzle Salamence lead once again. It's been very safe here, and I feel like that's what I led the last time there was a team similar to this, so I think I will try it out with the Necrozma and the Xerneas in the back. I just don't think Breloom's too helpful in this. I can't Spore. I think Tapu Koko should be coming in this matchup just to prevent Spore. But here's the thing. There's a lot of things my opponent can do here. If you bring Tapu Koko to the terrain, I don't think you bring Salamence, which meant that my Breloom could be freed up if I did bring it. But I'm not sure exactly what would be brought here if my opponent decided to bring it. Because I think you bring Tapu Koko if you want to go to Stakataka mode. If the Stakataka isn't already a safety goggles option. I think you had to bring Incineroar too. And then I think you had to bring Groudon. And then I think you had to bring Xerneas too. So... actually, no, you wouldn't bring the Xerneas. You would bring Stakataka mode. So I think it's either Stakataka mode or the Xerneas mode we're going to see here. So I'm not sure which one my opponent will go. Looks like we're just going to see Salamence and Incineroar versus Salazzle and Incineroar. Okay. So my opponent's is faster, which is alright. We're probably just going to see a trade of fake outs, which would be fine here. Because what if I just get in my Xerneas here? Yeah, I could set up my Xerneas here, I think. Because if it... unless my opponent goes for hard U-turn, which is definitely a possible play my opponent can make. But I think it's definitely worth coming out here. Because I think my opponent's back Pokemon. If you're going with Salamence lead, I feel like it's like you want to get Tailwind up. So maybe it is going to be the Xerneas Groudon on the back. I'm not sure if you're going to bring that Stakataka guaranteed. I will just fake out the Salamence slot and go hard into my Xerneas here. Because of the fact that I think this is going to be pretty good here for some big damage onto my opponent's Pokemon. If my opponent doesn't go for the hard U-turn. So we'll bring out the Xerneas. I also want to see if the Incineroar carries Roar. I think I can find this out early in the game right here. And I think fake out chip damage will put the Salamence into range of where Dazzle and Gleam should be able to KO even potentially bulky Salamence. So let's see here. Salamence will Mega Evolve. We will get a fake out into the Salamence. And yeah, it is a fake out. Okay, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I can go for a Dazzling Gleam right off the bat. And should I just fling the Incineroar or should I just go hard into Salamence? I think going hard into Salamence makes more sense to me. Because I can keep Salazzle around for more fake out and fling pressure later. So yeah. And also I take less damage. My opponent just decides to go on the offense with a double edge here into a Roar. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. We're going to see the Salamence actually retreat here into the Groudon. So my opponent not messing around with that. I'm going to hard bring the Groudon. But this actually kind of benefits me because of the fact I am going to be able to get Intimidated off into the Groudon. So yeah, we do confirm that it's going to be max speed on the Salamence, it looks like. Unless it's just like a really weird speed stat where it's like near max speed, but it isn't. But yeah, we're going to be able to get some damage off here, which is nice. But let's see what my opponent does. Because if you do have Roar, I think you should go for that Roar right now. Because it's your only option, I think. Unless you have the Stack Attack in the back, I guess. And you can try to U-turn out into it. I think those are your only two options, though. We'll see what my opponent does here. I will get some damage off into these Pokemon. And gain that damage is nice. Bringing that Groudon closer to Earth Power range. And it looks like it's Assault Vest on Incineroar. Oh, it goes for knockoff. Oh, but thankfully it's into the Salamence slot. Okay. So that's actually pretty big here. Because now I'm going to be able to get a Geomancy off with my Xerneas. Unless it's Roar on the Groudon. But the problem is I don't want to take a knockoff. Is there a way I can avoid both of those? I don't think there is. Maybe I just protect my Xerneas here in Tailwind. Actually, maybe the play is just a Geomancy here. You know what? I'm going to Geomancy here, and I'm going to roar the Groudon. Yeah, I like that play, actually, because it covers the roar from the Groudon. If it does have roar. Unless the Incineroar goes for Throat Chop. But we'll see here. I am going to Geomancy here. And I'm going to try to cover for a roar play from the Groudon, because, like, even if I take a Fire Punch, it's at -1, and we're pretty bulky, so I think we should be fine regardless. And I'm guessing if it's the Xerneas or the Salamence in the back, I'm going to be in a decent spot, because Xerneas isn't boosted from my opponent's side. So, yeah, we should be fine. It is just Fire Punch, so I don't get the play right, unfortunately. How much is this going to do? That did more than I thought, actually. Here comes a U-turn. Into the Salamence slot. 10%. Is this Stack Attack? Oh no, if it's Stack Attack coming in, that's actually really bad. It's really bad. Stack Attack comes out here. Because if I roar out into the Incineroar, this is very bad. But it's Xerneas, okay. That's fine. Xerneas is going to come out, which is completely okay here. And I could roar to Xerneas too. So I roar out the Groudon. Let's see what my opponent does. Let's see. I'm hoping it's Salamence. Salamence would be way better for me position-wise. It is going to be that Salamence, which is actually really good here, because now I can go for a Dazzling Gleam here and a Geomancy. And there really isn't much my opponent can do. There is no switching that my opponent has. I could Double Edge here, but I think speed control is more important here. But I don't need the speed control, do I? I think it's better just in case the Xerneas boosts. Yeah. We're going to see the Salamence go for the Protect, which is an interesting play. Okay. So the Xerneas didn't Protect. Maybe you're going on the offense. Maybe you're hoping for a crit at this rate. That did some good damage. We get Tailwind up. Maybe I should just Double Edge. Double Edge was fine. Moonblast's going to come out into my Xerneas, okay? No special attack drop, which is good. I can go for a Dazzling Gleam here. And I think I just get in Salazzle, I think, so I can have Fake Out pressure for later. I get to keep Salamence Intimidate, which is actually really nice here. The Xerneas is already super weakened. I think this is a game where I just end up finishing the game by just sweeping here. Like, I just don't see a way my opponent really gets out of this situation. We can get Salazzle back in. We're going to see Salamence actually be saved here, and Incineroar are going to come in my opponent's side. So maybe my opponent's going to try a last-ditch Fake Out pressure scenario here, which is completely fine for me, I think. Because this Incineroar should be in range of like Fake Out into Gleam again. So let's see. After this Dazzling Gleam, should be a 2 KO after the chip it's already taken. So let's see. We also have that Fling in the back, which is actually really solid here. So yeah, that did. Oh wait, it's not Berry on Incineroar. Wow. Did I just get a really low roll with Dazzling Gleam the first time? Cause just wow. Okay. That still works out for me regardless. I'm able to get Dazzling Gleam off, and I'm still able to Fake Out the Incineroar. And my opponent, again, maybe can switch out on the Groudon, but I feel like it just doesn't benefit much. Yeah. Like, my opponent looked like gonna lose both Pokemon here, and that's completely fine. Maybe this Dazzling Gleam doesn't knock out Incineroar, but I feel like it should. No, it doesn't. Okay. Xerneas does go down, though, which is the important part. Incineroar is still alive, but the thing is, Groudon's probably coming in. Yeah, Groudon's coming in. I feel like we have all the pieces we need to win the game. I definitely want a Dazzling Gleam here, and I do want a Fling, I think, because I think Fling is the safest move. The problem is if Groudon protects here, and then Incineroar gets sacked, and then I guess the Salamence comes in, but I think I'm still fine regardless. As my opponent doesn't even go for that, but yeah, if my opponent did go for that, I think I still had outs. I think my Salamence plus Necrozma just won the game regardless. But yeah, since my opponent didn't protect, there's absolutely no chance of my opponent winning because the Groudon just took way too much damage. I think Sludge Bomb and a Dazzling Gleam should be able to finish off the Groudon slot. Salamence is forced to protect here. And even if Sludge Bomb and the Dazzling Gleam, let's say, doesn't knock out the Groudon slot, I mean, I think I'm completely okay with that. I just get a free switch into my Salamence, I think. Yeah, and I think I'd be completely fine with that. So we'll go for the Dazzle and Gleam. We'll go for the Sludge Bomb here into the Groudon slot. Salamence is going to attempt to protect, so my opponent really hoping that Groudon can live the Dazzle and Gleam target into the Sludge Bomb, which I don't think it can. I feel like the first Dazzle and Gleam just did way too much. Let's see. Yeah, like Sludge Bomb should guarantee a knockout into the Groudon slot from that range. Yep, nice. So Groudon will go down, and that is going to be a good game to my opponent, as Dazzle and Gleam will be able to finish out the Xerneas. We'll be able to finish out the Salamence, and we are guaranteed to outspeed my opponent. And yeah, there's not anything my opponent can do here. So we are able to position ourselves in a great spot. I guess it was kind of a foolish move now that I think about it for my play, but since we saw a knockoff from the Incineroar, you want to assume that it doesn't have Roar at that point, because we saw what U-turn, fake out knockoff. So I didn't think it had Roar. I thought it was a Assault Vest, but apparently it wasn't. I guess I have to learn my calcs again, because I don't know. I felt like the Gleam should have done a bit more, but whatever. We were able to still pick up a win there. We were able to position ourselves perfectly. I still don't regret that Roar play that I made into the ground slot, because if we did catch my opponent going for a Roar into my Xerneas, that would have been sick. But even if we didn't, like, we still got ourselves in a pretty good position. We were actually pretty lucky to catch the Salamence, I think, because we were just able to go for Dazzle and Gleam. Luckily, no crits either happened. Maybe I could have went for the double edge. Maybe Tailwind was a bit unnecessary. I did want to go for the Tailwind though, just in case Xerneas and Incineroar was able to find a way to get into a position where, like, you could go for it. Fake out Geomancy potentially. And I wanted that speed control just in case my Xerneas was guaranteed to outspeed my opponent's Xerneas, which is what I wanted. But hope that everyone enjoyed today's episode of VGC 2019. Back to Battles. If you did enjoy, please leave a like down below in the comments. Well, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, as well as share this video with your friends. Thank you all to those who support me on my other platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and all those. You can go check them out down below. And especially to my supporters on Patreon and my Twitch channel. If you do want to go check them out, they're linked in the description down below. Really thankful to those people. But otherwise, you can check out the rest of my stuff down below in the description, as well as Jamie's team and his YouTube channel if you do want to go check him out. Otherwise, let me know what you thought about his team down below, and as well as answer the question of the day, which is, what is your favorite Mega Evolution competitive wise, or, you know, design wise, or whatever reason you have. Leave it down below in the description leave it down in the comment section down below, and also check out the description as well. But otherwise, I think that's pretty much it. Have a great day, people. Until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.